Hi everyone, welcome back to another beautiful day at Coombe Wood. We're in midsummer, the course is looking beautiful. We're going to do a little bit of instruction today, and we're talking about iron play and one particular myth that seems to really affect a lot of people. We talk about weight transfer and people's misinterpretation of how that is done. Now, the idea of weight transfer into a backswing and therefore the through swing is misinterpreted because the very word weight transfer or weight shift tends to make people drift across to the right hand side into their backswing and a big swaying movement across to the left into the downswing, which is weight transfer. You're transferring weight from one side to another. But you can see from what I'm doing here, it brings about an awful lot of lateral movement of the midsection, the upper body and so on, and that affects consistent ball striking. Now, I prefer the idea of an increase in pressure rather than the word weight transfer. And by that I mean, if we're going to look at how the golf ball is struck properly with an iron, we're not talking about driver with this particular bit of instruction. We'll cover that another time. But in order to get consistent compression on the golf ball, in other words, strike the golf ball first and then taking a divot, I need to be into the correct impact position as I'm approaching the golf ball. And I need to do that consistently if I'm going to be a consistent ball striker. The more I move off the golf ball over here, which is transferring weight, then the less consistent I'm going to be about timing that action back into the golf ball again. So ideally with an iron, and we want to be a little bit careful here, if you're off a high handicap or you've got low club head speed, you don't want to be applying this to longer irons. In fact, you shouldn't even be carrying the longer irons. You know, these days there are hybrids and so on which are available, which is a much, much better option if you've got a slow club head speed or if you're a high handicapper. Now, I've got a 7-iron here, and from 7-iron, 8-iron, 9-iron into your wedges, this really counts no matter what your handicap is. Now, as I make my backswing, I am increasing pressure into my right side. So I haven't moved off center. This is absolutely key. I'm increasing pressure into the inside of my right foot. From there, I can now, with use of the lower body, bring my weight back onto my left side. But again, I'm keeping centered. Therefore, I've got a good chance of this club returning into the correct position and compressing the golf ball correctly. And when we say compressing the golf ball, yes, it is a downward blow down and through the golf ball with your irons. I'm not going to try and flick the ball off the surface with my weight falling backwards and the hands flipping the club head into a forward position. I want to be in a position where my weight is being brought into my left side, the hands are leading the club head, so I compress downwards, and the low point of my swing is going to occur a good 2 to 3 inches beyond the golf ball. The club head is still traveling down when it's striking that golf ball, removing turf, taking a divot beyond the golf ball, so the actual low point is going to be beyond the golf ball. Not at the golf ball, and most definitely not behind it, otherwise I've just fatted it. So that increase in pressure into my right side at the top of the backswing here keeps me in a centered position. Now, I've got a box of golf balls here which are going to help me with a little drill which you can do easily at home with or without a golf club. At home, in the office, wherever you like. If I place that dozen box of golf balls, could be a book or something like that. For this I will use a golf club, but you can just swing your arms. If I'm in the correct position with the ball placement, try this little drill at home, yeah? If you move your weight excessively across to the right side, I've now lost sight of that golf ball. Certainly 3/4 of it, that's all I can see from here. I want to get a view of the whole of the golf ball in this position, and at the top of my backswing, I can still see the whole of the golf ball. So that means I have rotated my weight into the right side, increasing the pressure into the inside of my right foot, but I have not drifted sideways off it. That makes life a lot easier from this position where I can still maintain that center. You can see my head is not moving off center from there as I apply the club back onto the golf ball again. So ideally, once we're in that position, if we get over the golf ball, move into my right side, and you can see where the golf ball was placed. That was ball, then turf. There's the low point to my swing, 2 inches in front of the golf ball. Weight increase or pressure increase into the inside of the right foot. The head remains steady, and I can then compress the golf ball. Try that little drill, a book, a dozen box of golf balls, put the ball placement where you would normally have it. If you go into your backswing and you can't see the golf ball, you've drifted to the right. Maintain full sight of the golf ball. The right leg angle then remains in place. Good luck, practice well.